Dina, can you tell me one thing that really bothers you? Wow, listeners, we're gonna find out some
Oh,
some dirt with Dina here.
the
Okay.
suspense.
Oh, that would
I mean,
actually be kind of a cool episode, by the way. Dirt with Dina.
oh
Anyway,
yeah, I like
yeah.
that.
What's one thing that kind of bothers you sometimes when it comes to like nutrition? I'm not talking about like life in
Okay.
general, but
I was gonna say having to clip my toenails really bothers me, but that's not what you were asking.
no, not today, not today. Maybe on an ultra running pot or episode.
Okay. Or
Yeah,
just gross things that we have to
yeah,
do.
that's right.
I think the messaging and a word we used in a recent pod, like noise in social
Ah,
media,
yeah, yeah.
and a lot of the things that I see on social related to nutrition advice and guidance and supplements, things of that nature, is a thing that bothers me.
I would have to agree with you wholeheartedly on that one. And listeners, today we are bringing you, because we haven't talked about this in a while, the Soapbox episode. So Bob and Dina get on our soapboxes for a few different topics that have been, just kind of ruffling our feathers a little bit. And let's start with that one, Dee. So let's talk about the whole social media, nutrition, influencer, product endorsement, whatever we want to call it, kind of lumps into the same bucket, right? So
Yeah,
I feel like, obviously there's a strew of things going on right now in the nutrition world, supplement world, food world, like you name it, right? I can't tell you like how many times a lot of my college athletes come to me and say, hey, I saw this on TikTok, what do you think? Or I saw this on the gram, what do you think? In some of it I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is interesting. It makes me do a little bit of research, which I do all the time. I
yeah.
never badmouth anything before, going to Google, seeing what I can find out, looking at the company, looking at the supplements, maybe even doing some research on the supplements and the dosing, right? So there's a lot that we do behind the scenes, but I kind of feel like we're bombarded by that these days, aren't we?
It is challenging, Bob. I mean, for one, for people who aren't in the respective industry, it's like, how do you know what you're seeing is legitimate or the
Mm,
person saying what they're saying? What is their knowledge base, their other motivations? Just trying to decipher that. And then when you have like the snazzy, nicely edited videos and the slick stuff that's really catching your attention versus like someone like me, like I don't have that kind of skill set in all those areas like video editing and snazziness in the studio or AI stuff going on. Like there can be just such a difference in the attention draw. And so just trying to work through that piece on both sides, right? As a creator or as a viewer, consumer of the information, is like, wow, this looks so good, sounds so good. And
mhm.
then how do you decide or, work through that process of determining, is this legit?
Yeah, and I kind of feel like sometimes we and our listeners probably too, we look at this stuff and we're like, wow, like kind of like you're saying, like visually it looks fantastic, like catches
Yeah.
our eye, it stops us in the feed, like whatever. And then, I think that's when it separates. Like for me, it does stop me, right? I stop and I look at it and then like let's just take a supplement. Like if we're talking about a supplement, oh, that's an interesting supplement. Okay, and what I do next might be different than somebody else, right? So
Mm-hmm.
what I do is I literally research the heck out of that supplement. So I'm like, what is it? What's the dose? Is it safe? What company is actually behind this, and then I get finally to the influencer who's talking about it, right? But I like to know if that, again, in this example, if the supplement actually has any credibility, has any efficacy, has any research, has any safety issues with it.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of people might just look at the influencer first and say, oh, they're promoting this. Wow, they look great. Wow, this product looks great. Maybe I should buy it, right?
Yeah. I mean, do you see that too, even with the clients you work with, the athletes you work with, just when it comes to the supplement world and that part of social media, whether that's, yeah, TikTok or Instagram or otherwise, just that level of challenge. I mean, and that ties to that influencer thing.
Hmm.
Who's saying what and trying to sell for their own profit, which,
Right.
as we've talked about before, I mean, we're all I mean, we all have like you've said, Bob. I mean, career wise, we're all just trying to pay the bills.
Yeah,
But
right. Yeah, we're trying to
how
enjoy
do you,
life. Yeah,
I mean, and then when you and I see like, oh no, this
yeah.
person has created this line of supplements that,
Right, right.
oh boy. I
So
mean,
it's
yeah,
definitely challenging. I would say as registered dietitians, right? It's definitely challenging. We've been in this so long that we've seen this evolution, right, with social media.
yeah,
And I would say, and I won't speak for you, Dee, but I would say at first I was pretty upset with it because I'm like, oh my gosh, who is this person? To you're getting on your soapbox like, who is this person? They have no credentials, blah blah blah. Nowadays, I'm kind of like, just like you said, like, listen, people need to support their families, their lives, themselves. I get it. The problems I have sometimes is one, they may be taking advantage of some of our listeners, right? But two, and I'll describe what I'm talking about here in a second. But two, it is that it's the pushing a product, a supplement, whatever. Let's just say product. It's pushing a product without knowing about it much, without using it.
yeah,
Yeah, that happens, everybody, right? Just because so and so is recommending whatever doesn't mean they actually use it. They just want to get paid, right? And
yeah.
that's a lot of product companies. This is interesting. This even happens in our world, D, with the registered dietitians. Like there's some money going underneath the table for promoting certain things, whether it's a product or whether it's like the whole concept of whatever, like, oh, high carb, low carb, like whatever, right? So it doesn't have to be a product, it could be just anything. But I kind of feel like, again, I'm not totally against influencers because listen, we're influencers, right? We are. It's just different levels of influencing and kind of what we are influencing. Like we're influencing different things, and maybe someone on TikTok pushing a product is influencing another thing, right? So
Yeah.
my example. So here's one of the examples that kind of comes fresh into my head, and we've talked about him before in the past. Brian Johnson at Blueprint, he's the don't die guy, right? And he's
Hmm.
doing this amazing, N of one self experiment years over years, and spending millions of dollars improving his health. And I totally respect what he's trying to do. Absolutely, he's got a lot of money to do this, so he's doing a lot of different things from different modalities, different nutrition protocols, different supplement protocols, sleep. I mean, you name it, hair care, sunscreen, like you name it, right? He's doing it, but so here's the thing. I mean, he's doing this for himself, and I'm sure he never really wanted to develop a nutrition supplement and food line. I don't think that was his metric when he first did this, but I feel like it just evolved because people saw what he was doing, and more importantly, I feel like instead of taking, hundreds of supplements every day, like hundreds of pills every day, if you watch his documentary on Netflix, I mean, I can only imagine I wouldn't want to take that many pills, right? So I would want
Yeah.
to develop something and say, hey, maybe I can put this into a powder, into a drink, and that's kind of what he did. That's kind of how his Blueprint nutrition supplement line and food line evolved from what I've been seeing. So there are these influencers who may not really want, they don't have the onus to develop products or sell products. It just happens naturally. But then on the opposite side of things, there are influencers who that's their first thought, right? So it's I'm going to attack this field or this topic in the field with the knowledge of, my marketing plan includes products and or supplements first on day one, right? And that's what we're pushing. And I know you and I can talk in depth about this. There are, let's call it, health professionals out there that absolutely do this, right? They have their own supplement lines. I mean, it just, and I'm not talking bad about it. It's just as consumers, we just need to really, really kind of filter out that noise, don't we?
It's so hard. And I'm thinking, thank you for that example too, Bob. I'm just thinking of the menopause market, which is
Oh yeah.
so hot right now.
Oh yeah.
But then there are the MDs, medical doctors, they've been practicing in the field, but have, I don't know if taken advantage is the right phrase here, but it does seem like, well, all the women out there suffering through peri and postmenopause, all the symptoms and changes that occur, like, let's get that line of supplements created that are maybe overpriced, maybe not efficacious, but the marketing and hype around it is, I think, sad in a way, kind of taking advantage of women in that set who are desperate for some help and can easily get convinced like this $50 supplement is going to help
Hmm.
them, and then just miss out on some of the other important aspects, that we talk about. So,
Yeah. And there
yeah,
are, I mean, if we talk
yeah.
about supplements, D, especially like in the menopause market, or it could be any market, but and some of the times, like my beef with this is, well, so great, you have this supplement and you're targeting menopausal females to help whatever symptoms and whatever that the physiological consequences or challenges that they're having. My issue is there data to support that supplement in that particular subcategory of individuals, right? So
Right.
again, I mean, creatine is easy to pick on because it's probably the most researched ergogenic aid and supplement on the market. But look at what we've been finding. Not we, but researchers have been finding the past 10 years. It's not for ATP synthesis anymore. Now it's for brain health. Now it's for all these other things that we're finding. My issue is, okay, so you're putting, because I saw this and I'm not gonna call this out, but there is a supplement that I saw is like it's I forgot the name, something like metabolic health or something, and it just lumps all these supplement or these products ingredients into one pill, one capsule, in hopes to control blood sugar. And I'm like, really? Like, one, okay, I get what you're doing. Two, I disagree because, as you and I know, food is probably the most powerful thing to optimize blood sugar and insulin. But three, how do we know that combining 5, 10, 15, 20, like whatever it is, how do we know that those interactions are actually efficacious to yielding the result that they want? We
Yeah.
don't, right?
Yeah.
Because they're not researched together. So this is what people are doing. They're saying, hey, so, ingredient A does this in the body, ingredient B does this in the body, ingredient C, and we put them all together. We don't know if they actually all have those same improvements or same conclusions, right? So
Right.
I don't know. That's kind of my soapbox with that too.
Ooh. Well, okay, Bob. I think we could probably talk on this for a while.
We could. And I want to segue into another one that's kind of ruffled my feathers recently, and that is energy drinks.
Oh, yeah.
OMG. It's really, I mean, they're never going to go away. Let's just speak the hard truth, right? I get this quite a bit from my college athletes, right? Energy drinks, energy drinks. I don't know if you saw this, D, but the headline I caught the other day, as we're recording this in early August, was some very popular brand of energy drinks could have been mislabeled with another drink that had vodka in it.
Oh,
So
no, I
this was
didn't
like
see
a
that.
like a hard seltzer kind of a thing. It got mislabeled because same companies producing these, right? And all of a sudden you get this energy drink that maybe kids, hopefully not, but
Oh,
maybe kids,
no.
maybe college athletes, maybe pro athletes, whoever, can you imagine you're popping open an energy drink like before practice, during practice, whatever, and you're like, this tastes weird. And maybe you don't know what vodka tastes like and you're drinking the whole thing, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden you're inebriated. And maybe you even get kicked out of your sport, maybe, whatever it is, right? And all because of a mislabeling. Anyway,
Yikes.
back to
That's
energy
terrifying.
drinks. Yeah. So energy drinks, we won't spend too much time with this, but I still continue to have an issue with energy drinks because of, as I talked about it before, they're combining a whole bunch of ingredients. We don't know what the interactions are together because there's no research. Now we might know from the person saying, "Oh, hey, I get this high or I get this low or I feel amped up or whatever." But I'm just having a big issue with ingredients these days with energy drinks and even the whole message of energy drinks, because I feel, and again, I'm just pulling off my work with college athletes, is like that's the band-aid, right? And that's what they're reaching towards when other things actually need to be addressed, like sleep, like stress, like mental health, all of these different things, recovery from exercise. They're going to the energy drink first, which could be actually very detrimental, could have some banned substances, some
Yeah.
impermissible substances, whatever. But I'm just finding that this is still an issue, especially in my world.
I mean, Bob, I think of the cost involved too. So, I mean, there's that literal cost. Like this is 250
Oh
12 ounce
yeah,
or whatever. I
yeah,
don't I don't even know the range of prices these days, but
right.
and just what that money can do. It's just hard times right now, but
It
to
is.
your point, the Band-Aid, you know, that immediate like desire to have the immediate relief or symptom resolution, but the trade-offs short and long term, it's so hard
It is.
to justify some of that stuff. But I feel for the younger folk out there, just the savvy marketing and stuff. That vodka story is actually really crazy and scary
It is, isn't it?
to think
Yeah,
about something like that happening.
I know, right?
So, I mean, yeah,
Especially, I'm just
I don't,
thinking, I'm putting my parent hat on. I'm like, oh my God, what if one of my
yeah,
kids like picked one, use that in an athletic situation or whatever? I'm like, oh, I would be livid as a parent.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Are we good on
I
that one?
know. Yeah.
All right, so let's go with my last one that I wanted to bring up because I know we have a lot to say about this too. So, listeners, buckle up for this one. And that is biomarker testing. And you may think, wait a second, isn't biomarker testing quote unquote good? Well, absolutely. It's got some great information that it can provide. But my soapbox, my beef with that is let's set the stage first, right? And then I'll pass it to you, D. There's a lot of companies out there right now that are getting into this space, which I think is fantastic. It makes knowing more about our body very easily accessible. The price points are actually fairly decent because there's a lot of supply right now. There's a lot of players in it, drives the cost down, which is fantastic. I feel all those things are great. My soapbox with this one is really just like having these tests done because I've worked with athletes and they've just basically unloaded all these tests on me and they're like, I have no idea what to do with this stuff. So
Hmm.
my beef is not knowing how to use the data because it's not just one test usually, right? It's maybe it's some hormone testing, maybe it's some genetic testing, maybe it's metabolic efficiency testing, like not knowing how to put them all together because here's the thing, they're when you're looking at these tests, the interpretation summaries or packets or whatever you get from that testing facility, they're only interpreting their test, right? So you
Yeah.
kind of need a health professional, nutrition professional, whomever, to actually take all of it together and put it into common knowledge, but also look at how it affects your body based on all of them working together. That's kind of my beef is just kind of doing these one-off tests, but not really understanding what to do with all of the information if it's multiple tests.
Yeah. It's like that notion, are we treating the person in front of us or are we
Mm,
treating the data that is presented? Like you got to have both. You can't
yes,
just use blood testing results and create a meal plan without
exactly.
knowing who is this person
Yeah.
and what's their history, their goals, their nutrition patterns, etc. So I have seen that a few times, for sure, Bob. And it's like, oh, kind of. I mean, for one, again, back to cost. Like, wow, you're paying for maybe super relevant data for you, but what's happening to apply that data?
Yeah, right.
And how is that going to help you? And
Yeah.
who's doing that for
Yeah.
you or with you?
And there are some platforms, like I said, these companies are getting better. There are some platforms that I can think of that interpret the data pretty well, but it still doesn't give you the plan, right? It just says, hey, you're high or low in this, or, but it's not looking at all the biomarkers and saying, okay, high, low in this, high and low this other thing coming together. Oh, and we've got some genetic testing too. Maybe here's how we should structure your meal plan. It kind of takes, I mean, whatever we want to say about AI, I don't think AI is going to take this over because there's such a human component here, right? And I feel like with our listeners, if you do get, I think the take home message is this, if you get these types of testing done, reach out to someone that can interpret all of it, right? Or
Yeah.
get a team around you. Maybe it's not one person interpreting everything. Maybe it's a team that are talking together or talking to each other because that, in obviously some of us are specialists in certain areas. So some of us don't chat in other areas and that's cool. Like, I'm
Hmm.
not going to dive down an area that I don't know well because that's not fair to anybody, right? But I feel like having the biomarker testing A plus, absolutely, go get it done. Yes, you want to understand more about yourself, especially since we're in this age of. I kind of feel the longevity thing is here to stay. It's only getting more popular. But to do it correctly, you kind of need that person or that team of persons to help you interpret all the data.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that lesson can apply to so many things right now.
Oh my gosh, yeah, right.
And then on the same token, Bob, I feel like I'm 90 years old. Like, come on now, everybody. Listen to us old geezers giving advice on.
Well, it's a funny accent you have there, but
I don't know where that came from, by the
we
way.
we are we are not in that level of our life, but I feel like we do have a little bit of experience when it comes to that. Not only education, like based on what we do, but there is, a kind of an interesting. It's an interesting topic of saying, as you do get older, you do get much wiser, and sometimes you get stuck in your ways, and sometimes it's just like, hey, you know what? Like with me, I just want to help people not make the same mistakes that I've made,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Most of the time. And that's why I do a lot of experiments myself because I'm like, okay, even though it's N of one, at least I can kind of test the waters first. And, if it's something stupid and crazy, like I'm not going to recommend that to people, right?
Right. Yeah, I hear you.
But to
It's
also have an open mind and say, hey, maybe it doesn't work for me, but maybe there are some benefits based on research, more evidence based that it could work for someone else, right? Yeah.
yeah.
No.
Oh gosh, Bob. Well, I feel like those are some good soapbox issues, items on our minds right now. Like you mentioned too, or maybe I said this, like there's many others we could rant on.
Yeah.
Those seem to be very pertinent right now. So it's good to kind of let this out, and hopefully the listeners are relating a bit to some of what we're saying, or at least having their kind of their filters
Yes.
reset a bit.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, yes, I always enjoy soapbox episodes because it's just our time to kind of divulge kind of what's going on, how we're seeing things right in the nutrition space. So yeah, every couple months I feel like we're gonna introduce another soapbox based on the nutrition landscape. Cool. All right, listeners. Well, as we mentioned before, thank you so much for always staying with us. And if you want to communicate and chat with us a little bit more, you can head on over to our patreon.com/ISN podcast community. You can join for free and just, hit us up with some questions. Tell us maybe what's on your mind regarding some nutrition things and what's bothering you. We'd love to interact with you there. But in the meantime, catch us on the next episode. And thank you so much for sticking with us.